Hi, I'm Angie Kellen with MCA. Today, I'm at the second International Solar Energy Technology Conference in Santa Clara, California. The 2010 ISETC is a premier one-day technical conference and exhibition focusing on industry trends and the innovative technologies involved in the efficient use of solar energy. The many speakers and panel members include industry leaders that span the solar energy value chain. While the conference was very busy, I did get a chance to catch up with some of the speakers, and here's what they had to say. I'm here with Doug Rose of SunPower. Doug, what's your role with the company?
I'm our Vice President of Technology Strategy.
Doug, in your presentation today, you talked about PV system performance. Can you give us some more details about your presentation?
Happy to. In the presentation, I talked about both the motivation for high performance and our approach to it. The motivation is that performance is the first order effect on system economics. It not only defines the output from the system, which is the value of it, but also the confidence in that output is the prime determinant of the financing for the system. And then I talked about our approach to it, both in terms of high efficiency and the leverage that has for system costs, and the energy per rated watt for a system, both the modules and the system aspects, and finally the reliability of it. And we're trying to get across our experience in reliability, the testing for it, the manufacture of it, in order to do our part to help the industry, utilizing the experience that we've had with our own modules and other modules that we have fielded.
I'm here with John Garofalo of Premier Power. John, can you tell us what your role is at Premier Power?
Sure. My official title is Vice President of Business Development, which really is in charge of sales and marketing for all of our business at Premier Power, domestically and abroad.
John, you provided a very entertaining presentation today, and it was regarding the U.S. and the solar industry kind of compared to the rest of the world. Can you give us a few of the key takeaways from it?
Sure, Angie. For us, we believe that the key ingredient really is change. That there's a lot of ebb and flow within this industry, and the company or the organizations that can remain fluid, have the ability to be flexible and integrate in and out of different markets as needs and demands change, those will be the successful companies. And I think that probably as the primary takeaway, I wanted that really to be the message, whether it was a domestic audience or international, is that change is ever present and that you can't be steadfast in your ways. It's about learning and growing.
I'm with Ted Kamens of Stanford University. Ted, what's your role at Stanford University?
I'm a consulting professor in the electrical engineering department, working on several different aspects which are materials and processing related. There's quite a bit of interest at Stanford in epitaxial deposition, primarily of germanium, for some advanced optical and electronic applications, and also a photovoltaic retinal prosthesis project, which applies photovoltaics in a very different application and has some similar and some different requirements than solar photovoltaics.
Ted, I know your presentation today talked about nanowires and photovoltaics. Can you give me a couple of key points of what your presentation covered?
In several of the presentations this morning, the possibility of going beyond a planar two-dimensional solar cell into the third dimension offers some interesting possibilities for increasing both the absorption of the light and possibly some collection of the photo-generated carriers. So I was talking about a particular three-dimensional structure dealing with so-called nanowires, which are an intriguing way of forming a one-dimensional structure which allows us to capitalize on some of the increased absorption and collection properties of the photovoltaic structures. In particular, by having a one-dimensional nanowire, we can absorb light in the long dimension of the nanowire, but have the p-n junction arranged so that the photo-generated minority carriers only have to travel a short distance to be collected. This is going to increase the collection efficiency and at the same time keep the absorption characteristics, the amount of absorption, quite high. So it allows sort of the best of both worlds, good absorption and good carrier collection, which should increase the efficiency of the solar cell quite significantly.
With me is Jim Hines of Gartner. Jim, what's your role with the company?
I'm a research director at Gartner covering the photovoltaic industry, so we cover the whole value chain for PV.
Jim, you were one of the panelists today, and following up on the topics there, what do you see are the opportunities for the U.S. in the PV sector?
Well, as I said in my presentation, we see the U.S. market really moving into a very rapid growth phase, so there will be a lot of opportunities throughout the value chain. But I think most importantly is going to be where the projects are actually developed and built on the ground. And in this market, because it's a very fragmented market and it has different local regulations and incentives, the importance of partnering cannot be overemphasized. So when it comes to the U.S. market and addressing the opportunities, it's all about relationships and building those relationships to get access to the opportunities.
I'd like to thank the organizers of the 2010 ISETC for providing an event with valuable insights and perspectives regarding the solar energy industry. Also, I'd like to thank our speakers and our panelists for their time and their comments today. We hope to see you at the next ISETC. For MCA, I'm Angie Kellen.